Hi, I'm J. Lenora Bressler. Good afternoon and welcome to the August 17, 2017 edition of the Bible Delight in the Details as we finish our look at Psalm 32. Psalm 32 is the resolution of Psalm 51. 51, of course, the great confession psalm of David. And then Psalm 32 is the aftermath, the delightful aftermath of having confessed sin to the Lord. David feels the wonderful relief of that, and he realizes that now that a right relationship has been stored with the Lord, it is just a better life for him. And we were talking yesterday about that. Now, interestingly, from verse 1 to 7, it is clearly the psalmist speaking. But then we see a change, and it's obviously the Lord himself is speaking. And we should always remember that, David has been considered in Jewish thought to be a prophet at times. And we know that a lot of the Psalms that are attributed to David appear to be prophetic. They are messianic, including large portions that are exactly describing Christ, the Messiah's death on the cross in terms that are unbelievably accurate of what actually wound up happening to Christ. And this is particularly phenomenal when you realize that crucifixion would not be invented for many, many hundreds of years later after David. So it's not something that he could have just come up with on his own. But interestingly, it appears that during the writing of Psalm 32, the Lord not only inspired David's writing, but also actually put words out there from the Lord himself. And in Psalm 32, starting in verse 8, the Lord is talking, and he says, "Do not be like the horse and the mule, who need a bridle and a bit to control them, lest they don't come to you." It's interesting that a lot of times we do bring suffering on ourselves. There's no question about it. There's a lot of bad in this world and a lot of things that we cannot avoid because we live in a fallen world. However, there are a lot of things that we could avoid, or we could at least make a lot easier. And I, for one, get very upset with myself when I know that I've brought stuff on myself, that I've made life harder than it had to be. And it's very upsetting to me when I frankly see other people doing the same. This is what God is trying to tell us. God is going to instruct and direct and teach his people. And we can either go along and make it a lot easier on ourselves, or we can, in the words of Paul, kick against the goads. Or actually, it was Christ's words to Paul. How long will you kick against the goads? We can try and just battle God at every turn, but God is going to have his way, and he will stay after us, and he will teach us lessons, and he'll do whatever he has to do in order to bring us to an understanding. And earlier in Psalm 32, David indicated that it was God that had brought this weight of sin, weight of shame for his sin upon him. And that's what turned him to confession and eventually the great release of all of that guilt and shame after confession and forgiveness. And he even talked about that his strength was sapped as in the summer heat. Us Floridians, we understand about the summer heat sapping our strength and our energy. God will wear you down if he has to. He will do whatever it takes to get you to listen to him. I say, listen quickly, listen early, be open to the soft and gentle promptings of God. Don't be like the horse and the mule. Don't make God get out the bit and the bridle and lead you around in a way that may be uncomfortable for you when you don't have to. Just be open, be receptive, and hurry. Be swift to confess, get forgiveness, and get back in right relationship with God. I'm J. Lenora Bressler. Visit me tomorrow on the next edition of the Bible Delight in the Details.